Fuck, it looks heavy.
The delay adds to the drama, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
This series, we're touring the mecca of colossal carp.
A pomme de terre.
France.
Mwah! Magnifique.
We'll travel the length and breadth of the country with just scaly beasts on our minds.
I'm blown away. Blown away.
This is true insanity.
I'm Ali Hamidi.
That is an absolute donkey.
I'm Tom Dove.
What is going on?
And I'm Neil Spooner.
Grand fromage.
Together we'll scour the country's spellbinding options.
Still here to come down.
And we'll pick the ultimate venues with the biggest brutes.
Yeah!
Mind-bending targets will be set.
We're knocking it up to 70 pounds.
PBs will be shattered in our biggest ever monster carp.
Looks like a massive common geese. That's it, mate. I think that's the one, innit?
Our formidable French tour was in top gear, and this week we were heading to the Île-de-France region, 140 kilometres south of Paris, in the hope of catching more Goliath carp from Gaul.
Oh, I love it when I arrive and see these little quaint villages. You know you're never far away from massive, massive carp.
Due to increasing demand for construction materials, so many large pits were dug across the region. Because the excavation of these pits are usually below the water table, lakes form naturally, and rather than the landowners paying tax on an empty pool, they fill them with carp and sell them as holiday venues. Due to so many of these lakes across this area, competition drives carp sizes bigger and bigger to appease the punters.
And we found the king of them. Where we were ultimately heading holds 3 carp to over 80 pounds, all of which would obliterate our PBs. Spooner was the only one to have fished this venue before.
Where the tour continues through France, we are putting the miles in. Today, though, it's a big match. I've got a nice habit of winning these, and I could do with it continuing, if I'm honest.
Ooh, it cannot be understated how important this match was going to be. At our final destination, there was a certain area that was known to be the home of a carp that was well into 80 pounds and could even break the 90-pound barrier. It was a once-in-a-lifetime fish. This match would decide who could plot up in its living room. The stakes were beyond anything we'd experienced so far.
The venue for the match was part of the Carcassonne complex near Montereau. We'd picked a small lake which held around 150 carp with an average size of 10 pounds.
This was to be a 1 rod each feeder match, where any fish counted. The angler with the greatest total weight at the end would then get first choice of swim at the main event.
This is seriously important, this match. The lake we're going to has 3 80-pounders in, PBs for everyone. Everyone wants first choice of swim. I need to win this match.
Spooner, a.k.a. Harry Spodder, has good form on these matches. If we wanted first choice of swim, we needed to work some magic ourselves and knock him down a peg.
Lots at stake with today's match, lad. You ready?
I'm getting there. I am getting there. This has the potential of being the trip of a lifetime, this one.
I'm psyched for this. It starts here, now.
We ready? Should we do it?
I was going straight in with a magic ground bait filled feeder, but the others were going to bait up their spots first. Dovey using his baited feeder and Ali using a spod.
Are we ready?
OK, gents, let's go. I'm going to whop this out there. Oh, nice. That's a bite. Oh, see, told you. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it
started to go
high. Need another spod.
Knew this would happen. Harry Spodder put a curse on me and snapped my line. And worse, he immediately had a bite.
It was got one on already. I haven't even cast out yet.
I planned to recast after 4 minutes. It was in there for a minute.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Oh, but it is, Dovey. I wanted first choice of swim, and every moment I wasn't on the spot fishing was a moment wasted. Magic.
Well done. Great start.
Well, that is a much quicker start than expected. Smaller fish like this one went in keep nets until the end of the match, but anything of about 10 pounds or over was to be weighed, logged and returned by a crew member.
After a flying start, Spoons proceeded to have an absolute shocker by missing 2 bites.
Oh, you missed another one.
Dropped a little
Hate to see it. Hate to see it.
Not everything you do is magic, Harry.
Nice, come on.
Oh, no.
But to be fair, at least he was getting some action.
What, like this?
Oh, she's heavy.
Ooh, it's having some, isn't it?
After a quick fight, she was mine. And this one was a weigher. The crew got her on the scales and it was 15 pounds 14 ounces, which gave me the lead.
And then it kicked off.
It was 13 pounds 10 ounces. Get in.
Nearly 18 pound that, boy.
I then got in on the action.
Yes, get in there.
Twice in quick succession.
It was a bream, but they all count.
Big old slabs.
Seeing as we had no idea what exact weight was in the keep nets, we estimated at the midway stage the leaderboard looked like this. And I was hot on Spooner's heels.
It can all change very quickly, can't it? There's not loads between any of us.
No, you had them bream, though. That's like, when it was a bit quiet, you just slammed a couple of them out.
To be honest, I want them to stay around. You get them in quick, get it back out quick, £5-ish.
Quick weight builder. Only time would tell. The remaining half of the match, the action royally ramped up, with fish coming left, right and Chelsea.
Oh, yes. Go on, son. We're in the mix, aren't we?
Another quick bream. These could make all the difference.
This is well nip and tuck, isn't it?
Old Spooner followed up with a weighty carp.
Oosh. This is seriously on if I get this.
That's a big cheese grommet. £16.12, just what I needed.
Damn!
But that wasn't.
Yes, Tom.
It's my favourite fish.
Only a little catfish, but it could prove the difference.
After a few more fish were caught, it was looking like I was going to take the title. But what weights are in the boys' keep nets? It was only a guess, but with Spooner having a carp over Dovey, we reckoned he was in second.
Oh, not bad for someone who always comes last. Still might come last, to be fair. One fish from either of these two idiots, and I'm last. You've got the balding idiot, and you've got the one in the hat, that idiot. Either could nick it here. Gone so serious. Good job in it, I'm here, bringing the banter. Low or high, always banter, yeah? These two, do you know what I mean? Don't want to be me, do you? Having to hang out with these two when they're like this. Nothing.
We were in deep concentration, knowing one big carp could take the title and possible game-changing first choice at the main event.
Come on, one more carp.
And it was Harry Spodder.
Oh, my God. He's got a big one on.
He's only pumped it.
Oh.
Come on, baby, come on.
That was a good, quick bite, Spoons, that was.
We only had a few minutes of the match remaining. This was surely the last carp, and I needed it badly. Come on.
Oh, it's a good one as well. It's a big Barney, that one. They have a go, didn't they, Neil?
You do, mate. You think you've won, and then they go,
Yeah, you ain't won. What you want is when they just come over the spreader and then fall back out again. A couple of them would be nice for you now. Add a bit of tension for the fans at home. You know what I mean? It'd be poor if it was just plain sailing and it just came in dead easy. Oh, looks like it's ready.
It's going in the net. Go on, Neil.
Oh, it looks like it's
Go
ready.
on,
No, it isn't. Are you nervous, Neil? Oh, it's going to fall away again. Oh, the pressure.
Get your head in.
Oh, he's in. He's in. 4 minutes to go. Could do that getting stuck in some brambles as you lift it out.
Minus the brambles, it weighed in at a very respectable £15. Now, where is Monster Carp's human hooter? Oh, there he is.
No. Tight.
Seeing as Ali only caught waders, it was just Spoons and myself that had some extra fish in our keep nets to tally up. This was now biting.
Well, this is the carp factor, and the results are in. OK, the results really are in. What a great match. Probably the most competitive in our history.
Yeah, right till the end as well.
Who do you think the winner is?
You're the winner, Neil second, me third, I think.
Right, then. In third place, the dove from above, with 72 pounds 6 ounces, a solid innings. First place, I'm missing out second, with 81 pound 15. They call him the Harry Spodder.
No!
You've nicked it, mate.
I can't believe I've won it, but I am so glad I have. I've been to this lake we're going to a couple of times before, and one of the big commons has got such a track record from coming from one area in particular. That's where I'm going to be now, thanks to this little match. On to the main event, eh?
Main event.
80 pounders, 80 pounders.
80 pounders, that's what we're about.
80 pounders.
Great stuff, great stuff.
Would the fish of our dreams, a PB-busting 80-pound bar of gold common carp, be waiting for us at the end of that rainbow? We could all only hope and pray.
We were in the Ile-de-France region near Monteroux, and after one of the most fiercely fought matches of all time, where Spooner bagged himself a shock victory.
No!
You've nicked it, mate.
We were now heading to a mega venue that Spooner had actually fished before, and this place held several real monster carp.
Just coming over the last little stretch before we get to the lake. Thanks to winning that match, I've got first choice on swim as well.
It's rare that we get to fish for a fish of over 80 pounds, let alone 3 of them.
We could all obliterate our PB at this particular lake.
The venue in question was known as Truazils, translated as 3 islands. A water of about 60 acres that holds bream, perch, pike and 2 resident sturgeon of about 100 pounds each. But it also has an estimated head of 800 carp. This lake is truly mind-blowing. It has 60s, it has 70s, and if that wasn't enough, there are 3 fish that smash the 80-pound barrier, one of which I was lucky to see a friend and colleague catch on a previous trip. Not only that, one of these 80-pound Goliaths could break into the 90-pound territory, one of only a handful of that size on the entire planet.
The bare minimum we can expect as a team from here as a target is a 50-pounder, but I think all of our sights are set much higher than that.
We know what the team target is, but I've got myself a little personal target too. I've never caught a 60-pound common. I think one from here would be absolutely amazing, and trust me, there's quite a few swimming around. It's got to be my turn.
The capture records of the big uns prove that it was frequenting these areas around the lake. It was being caught from various spots, but the vast majority of bites were right here.
As I thought, I'm going to go left-hand side. Fished it before. Lots of reports on that common getting caught. Well, to be fair, all over this swim, but I feel like I've got a bit of a head start on this zone anyway.
And I feel like there's a chance of catching a lot of fish somewhere else, but I'm going with history. That big common gets caught in this area and I want to be as near to it as possible. So, unfortunately, socially, you're going to have me right next to you.
With third choice, I'd opted to target the central part of the lake. The big un has been caught from here, albeit less often, but if we all cram next to Spooner, then the angling pressure could well lead to none of us catching. I picked peg 4 because it controls an awful lot of the middle part of the lake. And a lot of the time with the commercials, the fish live in the middle. So I'm going to start here. If the fish are out there, I'm going to be fishing long, right in their living room, and hopefully getting amongst them.
Next, we all got to work finding areas to fish within our swims. Using a marker float, you can easily work out the depths. The average depth was between 10 and 12 foot, with some much shallower areas near the islands.
I was looking for a drastic change in the lake bed. Conventionally, you might be searching for hard gravel areas that denote a popular carp feeding spot, but I was aiming for the siltier seam right on the edges where the fish might feel safer. Based off the most popular areas the big un gets caught, this was where I was targeting.
My money was on a spot off the island shelf that sloped down to 8 foot. Carp love using islands as roundabouts, so when they migrate from the shallower, more oxygenated water in the day to the deeper feeding grounds at night, my traps would be there and waiting.
I was going long distance, where I saw fish show just left of a prominent gravel bar, and that's where I'll be fishing 3 rods.
If they're living out in that centre part of the lake, fishing at that extreme range tidally can be very, very effective.
Due to COVID restrictions, the lake has been almost unfished for most of the year, so it's important to get out a decent bed of quality food the fish like to eat. I was soaking mine in lake water, not to wash them out as such, but to soften them up. Carp find it easier and quicker to munch through and digest soft bait, so it makes the spot that much more appealing.
We all put about 5 kilos out each. Not an easy job at range.
Rewards are out there to be had, though.
Next on the agenda were the rigs.
Well, keeping things dead simple to start with. Tried and tested loops and booms combi rig with a big hook bait. It's done me well here in the past and it's helped to avoid the bream. But just to see what's going on out there, a little spinner rig with a yellow pop-up catches anything that swims. It can often instigate a bite from a carp really quickly, or it will tell me if there's bream in the area. Let's give it a go, shall we?
I was opting for spinner rigs on all 3 rods, but with different hook baits on each.
I also went for spinners on 2, but I fancied a solid PVA dissolving bag full of goodness on my 3rd. A gamble due to the tiny pellet content being loved by nuisance fish, but it could grab a quick bite from a greedy big carp. Time for Operation Grand Fromage.
From experience, this lake is notorious for only doing nighttime bites. The lake has an abundance of foliage, weed, and importantly, an island full of trees. During the day, all this flora breathes in CO2 and releases oxygen, which holds the fish. But photosynthesis reverses during the night when there's no light to convert to energy. This pushes the fish out into deeper water where a lot of the carp's natural nocturnal food items come out. At least that's one possible theory, and due to the lack of anglers' bait going in, the fish have become even more in tune with these natural cycles, something which we're hoping to exploit.
They all went out a bit too smooth there, mate.
Yeah, first or second cast on all of them. They are perfect.
Let's hope we're seamless and everything just goes perfectly.
Yeah, just after dark, a bite apiece. Lovely.
I like the sound of that. Right, well, we got them out just in the nick of time. We made a bit of a racket out there today, but we found a very good spot. It looks good. I'm not sure we'll get one tonight, but I feel like it's going to happen this week.
Blimey, this first run from this fish was absolutely obscene.
At 9:30, I had a screamer of a take on my left-hand PVA bag rod. This tactic is often avoided when there are small fish about due to the tiny food items you put in them. But if there's carp present, it can usually lead to a very quick bite. But we didn't think it would be this quick. The fish stripped about 100 yards of line and it felt really heavy.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the big one. If it came in and it was a 90-pound common, I wouldn't be surprised.
Really?
This is powerful, mate.
What a way to start if it was to be.
Well, a bit of an early climax. I'd probably just pack up and drive back to England.
A 10-minute brutal battle followed. My heart was in my mouth and I was certain this was the big common that could touch 90 pounds. Then we got our first glimpse.
That's big, mate. That's huge.
Is it?
Looks like a massive common geese. That's it, mate. I think that's the one, innit?
I don't know if it looks as big as you think it does.
I don't know, it looks big.
I don't know, I can't tell, mate. I'll be honest, I can't tell.
It's a mirror. It's not the common. I worried that it's big, though, geese.
It looks tiny to me.
No, it's wide, I think.
It was close, first fish, and I was nervous.
Go on, go on, go on. Yes! Off the mark with not the big common.
The rule here was you have to weigh and photograph the fish in the lake. This wasn't the PB busting 90-pounder, but it was surely close to our 50-pound target. The question was, how close?
I am giving myself 56?
Yes.
How 4 ounces?
Get in!
How's your start? Well early doors.
Lovely job.
Look at that.
Yeah, mate, it's wide. It's actually really long as well.
Absolute bruiser. What a start.
Our target was now a 60-pounder and confidence was high as the action ramped up, with Dovey catching multiple carp, the biggest being 30 pounds.
Definitely goes to show that we're in the right spot. There's fish out there and the bait is working.
I was woken again, but this time it was my turn. A 33.5-pounder.
Then a 39-pound mirror for me.
Bit too much bedlam for my liking at my old age.
And minutes later, I was away again.
I'll be honest, I thought it was a bream at first. But then it just started doing this mad kite. And I can't stop it.
But it started fighting harder and harder, and then we saw it, a giant common.
Get that in that net out. That's a big common. That is a big fish. I don't know how big.
Possibly even a PB buster.
Yes. That is the hardest fighting bream I've ever caught.
Go on, the bream.
Yes, the bream.
Yes, well done.
Yes. I'll leave that fish in the net for a bit. I'm gonna have a quick cup of tea, watch the sun come up, and then we'll find out exactly how big that fish is. Bearing in mind I thought it was a bream, it don't really matter how big it is, does it?
But before we could see it, I was in again. What a first night of action.
Oh, I've had a good night's sleep.
A few minutes later, and she was mine.
You don't mess around.
We do not mess around.
The carp weighed 42 pound 4 ounces, but it wasn't the big common I was obsessing about. The first night couldn't have been better. Ali beat the 50-pound team target straight away, and I had landed a common that could seriously challenge my previous PB of 56 pound. Maybe even the new 60-pound target.
That is 58.5 pounds. Well, we'll take that. Well, have a look at that. So close to the new team target, 58.5 pound. Close to my personal target of a 60-pound common, but it is a PB.
Personal best.
That bucket looks heavy.
The delay adds to the drama, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's some weight.